What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sigmanado channel. My name is AJ, and this is my weekly cigar journal going on entry number 2, where I share some thoughts and some very laid-back reviews of the cigars I've enjoyed throughout the week. These sticks were smoked for pure enjoyment and not for the purpose of rating or reviewing them, so I don't get too hung up on tasting notes, but sometimes a cigar can really surprise you with great flavors, so I always mention that. With that said, before we get into the reviews, click my link tree in the description box. There are some great deals for you in there, and it really supports the channel. And please smash that like button. Kicking things off with the Arturo Fuente Rare Pink in the Signature Vitola. Now, I enjoyed the Work of Art Vitola not long ago, and it was a great smoke. So I was definitely looking forward to this one, especially because the Signature Vitola is one of my favorites. Now, unfortunately, this cigar, I didn't get to enjoy it as planned, but what I did get was a proper lesson, and that is that sometimes you just got to know when to say no. On this morning, it might not look like it right now, but it was a 75-degree, perfect day, and I was so looking forward to the smoke. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, we had a bunch of rain, and it was very cold and windy, but you know what? I was still determined to enjoy this cigar. So I hopped in the car, crank up the heat, and I try to enjoy it as best as I can. And right away, things started to unfold for the worse. Now, I think this cigar probably needed a much longer rest in my humidor. Flavors were just not there. They were all muted. The wrapper just was not burning well. I kept having to touch it up with my lighter. And the draw itself kept getting tighter and tighter. These were bad signs. Then I would have to stoke it to get any smoke output. The flaky ash, everything was just bad. Maybe it was the weather, or maybe it was the cigar. I just knew where this thing was heading. Right about halfway, I just threw in the towel with this cigar. It was just too much hassle trying to keep this thing lit and burning and producing some smoke. So I did what I had to do and just chucked it away. Unfortunately, there's a number of things that could have been the issue here, but one thing is for sure, I'm going to let the other ones that are in my humidor rest for a while before I touch them again. Hopefully we can redeem this bad smoke in the future. On the next night, or maybe the night after, I went with the Hemmingway bestseller. And this smoke is a little bit bittersweet because it's my last short cigar from Fuente. I don't think I have many short smokes left in my humidor right now. Yeah, you definitely don't want to underestimate them. I love a good short smoke. You know, Petite Coronas, Petite Robustos, Cigarellos, Exquisitos, all of these, you know, because sometimes you just want to have that quick 30 to 45 minute smoke, whether you're low on time or you just don't want to sit there for too long. But yeah, it's great, especially with that morning cup of coffee. I love the wrapper on this. I think it's a Cameroon wrapper. I might have to double check that. Yeah, look at those little bumps on the wrapper and that ash. That's called tooth. And in those little bumps are pockets of oil that are just little flavor explosions happening every time the cigar burns through them. It's a very flavorful cigar, so damn tasty. But yeah, I'm laying low. I haven't been buying cigars lately, and I probably won't be buying any more for the rest of the year. But I'm definitely going to load up on these shorter smokes when the time comes. Next on the list was this Davidoff Escurio in the short perfecto format. Sticking with this theme of shorter cigars, let me tell you now, I needed this cigar like I needed air. I was in excruciating pain, so sore after my last workout at the gym. So some Davidoff elegance is what I needed to relax me. And that first third, I was getting musty and earthy and barnyard flavors. You know, something about Davidoff just brings out these musty flavors. It's very unique. And you know, and I'm just in the mood for those shorter smokes lately. You know, sometimes you're in the mood for a Churchill cigar, and sometimes you just want something quick. So yeah, I've been working out for a few years, doing only calisthenics. And I just decided to get back into the gym and push some weight around. I told myself to go easy, but of course, that doesn't always work out that way. And I was lifting much heavier than I should have. And yeah, feel that twitch in your shoulder, and it was a wrap after that. I was sore for the next few days. I could barely even turn my neck. Definitely do not recommend ego lifting. Even though I wasn't, man, it's just been a while. You know, I do calisthenics all the time, and I used to lift, and I lost a lot of weight since I was doing that. But anyway, back to the point was, you know, I told myself to go easy on the weights, but of course that didn't work out. So I ended up messing up my shoulders for the next couple days. It was really bad. Back to the cigar though, that second third picked up with some dark chocolate and coffee. And what I really enjoyed about this cigar was it's very smooth, even on the retrohale. Even when I got to that final third, it had this unique and silky, almost oily like smoke texture that was very smooth on the sinuses. Loved it. And okay, I had to redeem this week with a proper cigar. and that was the Plasencia Almafuerte in the Robusto format again. So I had to make sure I get a sure thing. I needed a proper cigar. This one was a solid 2-hour smoke time. So from this box that I purchased, I had one last week, and before that, I think the last time I had one was around last December. So it's always nice to revisit smokes, especially after a long time, and see how your palate has changed and see how maybe the cigar was changed. And so this is one of those cigars that just commands your attention and says, hey, we're doing this right now. It's just so packed with flavors. And that first third started off with a nice hit of spice, these very rich and intense flavors that are just shouting at you, hello, how you doing? Absolutely amazing. And you can tell by how excited I am to talk about the flavors in the cigar because it's one of those cigars. And that second third got a solid shift into some chocolate and some coffee notes. This thing was decadent. I could eat this cigar. That's how good it tasted, okay? And I'm really loving the retro hell on this smoke through the sinuses. It's got a little bit of spice, but it's accompanied with so much flavor just next to it and around it. It's like it's enveloped in this extra flavor with a little bit of spice. And that final third, you get another shift into some more dark and rich flavors. I was getting a lot of dark chocolate, and it was just an amazing finish. Even though it's only been a week since that first smoke, but it just goes to show you how everything plays a part in that cigar enjoyment. And I talked about this in another video, but this cigar was so much better than the first one that I had, and it's only been a week now. Everything plays a part. There's so many little pieces to this puzzle to get that perfect cigar experience. And this definitely was a home run for me. Love this cigar and this moment. Absolutely amazing. And ending off the week properly with a My Father Connecticut in the Toro format. This was over the weekend, and those weekend cigars have got to be my favorite. Enjoying a Connecticut cigar in the afternoon with a cigar on a nice sunny day is just pure bliss. That does it for me. And it's been a long time since I had a Connecticut, so I was definitely looking forward to this. I've been smoking these more bold and intense cigars lately, especially in the evening. So it's been a while since I had a good Connecticut afternoon or morning cigar. One thing I noticed right away when I picked it up is that it felt really light. You know, it didn't have any weight to it, which kind of concerned me a little bit. That draw was definitely wide open. I love a loose draw, so that was perfect for me. And you know, My Father cigars, they're known for their spicy Nicaraguans. So let's see how this one goes. And this is a great way to test out a Connecticut for me because I haven't had one in so long, and I've been used to those bolder cigars. This was definitely a great shift in speed. In that first third, I was getting creamy notes and buttery notes and tons of smoke. This is already off to a great start. The thing about Connecticut cigars is you're going to have to pace yourself, and you have to take your time with Connecticut's, because if you don't, you'll get hits of bitter flavors even in the very beginning of the cigar. So it kind of keeps you in check. So yeah, right into that second third, all I'm thinking is how much I've missed smoking a good Connecticut cigar and enjoying a cup of coffee. This is the highlight of my week right here. I started picking up cedar and some hazelnut from this cigar. Oh man, some hazelnut. Damn. These are the kind of notes I love to get from a Connecticut cigar. Up to now, it's been pretty light in the strength department, but when I got to that final third, it definitely picked up in that nicotine strength. Some spice got into it, along with some butterscotch. But just looking at these tasting notes, honestly, I'm a little bit surprised at myself for taking these notes that I did. I mentioned hazelnut, butterscotch. I'm not definitely trying to seek the flavors, but when those flavors are there and I'm able to pick them up without even trying, that makes for a great cigar experience in my opinion. So yes, what an absolute treat. This is what I love about those Connecticut cigars. And that about wraps it up for this week's Cigar Journal entry. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.